So, back to reading English dailies in India. This is the Times of India for today. Today is Friday. I know that because there's a market behind my house and it was also here yesterday. June 11th. As usual, my God, I was even joking, but as usual there's a naked white woman at the top, and this time it is World Cup fever, World Cup fan. You can see she has her boobs covered with the soccer ball. I guess you can kick here or put your head there, but you can't use your hands on her breast. And she's rooting for black, rouge, and gold. And you have another, sexy looking, he gets to just have the back of his head. You don't even get to see him. Like in porn, you know how you never actually, you might even see the guy, or the guy could be butt ugly, but the woman, she's like there. Well, it's like this. Look at all these women. To sell what? And so this is the backdrop. And it's not just India, obviously. Many people see women's bodies as available in this way. And so this is the backdrop to the story that I would like to read for you today. IITH, Hyderabad, sacks gay activist Ashley Tellis. Hyderabad, by Nikhila Henry. In an AMU redux south of the Vindhyas, Indian Institute of Technology, Hyderabad, management sacked gay rights activist and faculty member Ashley Tellis, apparently discomfited by his sexual orientation. The academic, with around 20 years of experience, was shown the door last fortnight, less than a year after joining IIT Hyderabad. Being on probation, Tellis' services were terminated summarily. However, reliable sources said that he was asked to leave for his quote-unquote unlawful behavior and quote-unquote deviant mischief. Now, this article is continued on the next, in the inside. I'm going to get to that, but what I want to mention is they're going to talk about this too. There was a Dr. Siras in Aligarh University, and that's what this AMU references to. And he was found dead after he was caught on tape, in a sting operation sort of deal. So let's look at how this article continues. It says, resistance from outset, page 14. So let's find page 14. And let's just dig right into the do. All right, there it is. In the middle, spread right there. There it is. Bam. And it says, Tellis faced resistance at IITH from the beginning. So I'm not going to read the rest of the article for you because it's pretty redundant. Again, it says, gay rights activist Ashley Tellis has been given marching orders by Indian, and so it repeats the information. What I will tell you is that faculty sent email to the dean when they were appointing him. Some faculty members blamed Tellis for being too candid in discussing gay issues on campus. He's a PhD from Cambridge. He's been teaching. He's a published author. He's been teaching for quite some time. However, students, this is a quote, this is from the article, a number of students disagreed with the faculty members. Quote, he was one of the best teachers. Not many students had problems with him until the administration and other faculty members began asking questions about his behavior in classroom, said a student. So basically they went on this witch hunt and they hunted him out. What's interesting about this is that I also am getting a PhD soon, and I'm also, as people will know from these videos, a gay person. Or as you probably would surmise from my PhD topic, that I'm a gay person. So it's not as if I can be in or out of the closet. I just am. And it's distressing to think that, in spite of the fact that there are a lot of people who'd like to know more about gayness in the world, and gayness in India in particular, and research about that, one's identity can obstruct you from just, going on your way, from having a job. I'm concerned about this in the United States of America as well, because unless I go into a queer studies department or gender studies, I have to wonder. I don't know if it's true, but I do wonder what impact will my sexual orientation have, just as much as people will be concerned about their gender, their race, markers of their class. And so when you see these sort of glaring examples of when you're just, what we would call hate crimes, what we like to call discrimination, and normal, average, sensible people like to think of themselves as different from that. Well, when we see that, we have to really, as queer people ourselves, take a moment to acknowledge that yes, we do have a great amount of privilege because, I've been fired from a job because of stuff like this, but it hasn't been life-threatening. It hasn't been my career job. It hasn't been, the professorship, the coveted professorship that I wanted, But at the same time, we have to also say that in spite of the privilege that we have ourselves, we also know that there are the Matthew Shepherds that can't even just walk down the street. Or there are the people, like the AMU professor at Aligarh, Siras. And they said, this is what they said about this in this article. It's learned that Tellus's exit from IIT was being planned by the management ever since AMU's SR Siras was sacked for being gay in February this year. Tellus has filed a RTI application seeking reasons behind his sudden termination, with intends to have a face-off with IITH. So the interesting thing about this, and the good thing about this being India, is that this is on the first page of an English daily. It's buried here and on the 14th page. Gay activists in this country will go after it. The Lawyers Collective in Bangalore, the people, going on and on and on. And this is liable to catapult India far past many other nations insofar as granting gay people rights. I bet you. A year from now, we'll be having that conversation. How much you want to bet? I got 5 rupees on it.